Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name's Andy, Corporate Commander at TFW, and I'm joined this week by the Rathalos to my Hunter, who Musta Huntades. It's Mikey G. Wolf V3. Hello, Mikey.
You went through like 3 different languages there.
What 3 languages did I go through?
You started in English, switched to German, and ended up in Japanese.
What do you mean? Is Rathalos a German name?
No, but like once you started saying Hund unter, that's German.
Oh, right, okay. A Hunter Musta Huntades?
Des is where we get into Japanese.
Okay. Because I like that's a saying from a few people on the Twitches. They say a Hunter Musta Hunt, as it was a line from Dark Souls.
And
No,
why
not
did they
Dark
add
Souls,
the des?
Bloodborne. Oh, because you know, Bloodborne is Japanese, so you know, des.
Des indeed.
Yeah. If you wanted to add that to a question, you put a cat at the end. Deska? A Hunter.
I heard you say
Hunter
cat at
Deska?
the end. I'm just like someone holding up a small cat when they're saying it.
Well, you could do that as well. I mean, I don't know what you got to do when you're on a hunt, but yeah. Hey, Mikey, how are you doing?
Confused.
Good.
Confused and terrified.
Well, that's the usual week on the Moonbase 2, then, I would say. It's good starting off. And we're just going to jump in straight to the news for this week, as we always tend to do now. We're going to start off with some crap, because
Yep.
it's here. Woo! Robots in Disguise storage chest has been found at a UK retailer. That UK retailer is a highly acclaimed, highly esteemed Home Bargains.
I'm just thinking of all the people not from the UK who are actually half believing you when you say that.
And they should, well, with a title like Home Bargains, I don't think anyone would believe me.
I don't know. Marks and Spencers. Like, who are they? What have
They're
they
like-
ever done for us?
They're like the highest end food, but always so tasty.
Marks and Sparks.
Yeah, Marks and Sparks, man. That's their real name, Marks and goddamn Sparks. But yeah, Home Bargains doing an RID kind of little storage chest. It's luckily not too much. It's going to be £5 or pounds for people, you know, who don't speak English. It just seems to be what you would expect, kind of a material kind. I don't think it's paper. I think it's some kind of like clothy kind of
Yeah,
maybe
those
hard
things tend to be.
plasticky kind of thingy, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't look desperately big. It doesn't look desperately interesting either. It's got a Autobot insignia, seemingly flying through the sky over the ocean. For one of the sides, the other side has more of a pseudo electronic board with Autobot insignias just kind of randomly stamped all over it. Can't see the top, but it seems like it'll have Prime and Bumblebee on. Not a very amazing chest, probably not a very big chest, but hey, it might keep your kids quiet for a bit if you grab one. Though I don't see people rushing out to their Home Bargains to buy this thing. This isn't, you know, the next £15 Overlord at B&M or anything like that. You know? Mikey, any thoughts on a box? How do you feel about boxes?
You know that scene in The Simpsons where it's you can have this pile of money or you can trade it all in for what's inside this box.
Give me the box, give me the box, give me the box.
Yeah, I wouldn't in this case.
Are you
I will
not
take the money.
entranced by the quality and high art scheme of this box?
I believe that if there are any secrets inside in these boxes, they are not secrets that we really should or need to know.
But then there could be, if you opened it, Mikey, we could then have the fable of when Mikey opened the box.
I would like that to mean something very different.
Granted, it won't have the same oomph behind it as Pandora's box when it's just, oh, I remember Mikey's box. We never know. And he opened all the evils of the world. Damn that Irish Mikey.
And then he walked off with the lid, whistling.
You deserve this! You all burn! £5 Bullshit!
We asked him to put the lid back on, but his whistling just got louder.
I see more screaming and ranting and incoherentness than whistling from you. So boxes, they're available. Buy them if you want. But Mikey, it is coming up to the day when people have romance in their eyes and apparently cakes grumbling in their stomachs, as you can celebrate Valentine's in style. I wish in style was in quotations, because I would have put it in quotations for this story. With pre-roll. Transformers Valentine's case. Yeah, those guys. It's a Japanese company, so if you want to have your highly decorated Valentine's Day cakes, you're going to have to import them, which I'm not even sure you can do. Can you import a cake?
You can, but I would suspect if you're importing a cake from Japan, by the time you get it, you will no longer want that cake.
It's just started to turn into a new form of life by the time it arrives.
Yeah, it just comes out and says,
that would be
am
interesting.
love! I love! Just reaching out of the box. Kind of... Oh no, wait, it'll be basically a blob with eyes that looks oddly cute.
Every moment I live is agony.
Squeaking at you. It's squeaking away, and you're just like, you're hideous, but you're lovely. And, oh wait, is that fire? Hello, fire. Oh, bye, blob.
And there we go. Problem solved. So you might be asking yourself, what are the styles, what are the amazing artwork that I can get on these Valentine's Day cakes to express my love for another person? Well, you can get a movie Bumblebee saying Happy Valentine's Day. It's not even a cute message like, I will be yours, or something stupid.
No, fuck off.
Yeah, you know, it would work. People would go, oh, that's stupid.
No, they wouldn't. People would vomit on the cake, and no one would want the cake.
Josh would like it.
Josh isn't in Japan.
Josh would like it if he was in Japan.
But he ain't.
There's a Megatron one. It doesn't look much like Megatron. It's the last night one, but the horns on the side of his face are more kind of going outwards, like actual tusks, rather than anything else. Which is
pause
weird.
Before we continue on with this.
Go on.
You've got your partner, your lady or your fella in your life, and they have an interest in Transformers, or you do, and you're thinking, you know what I'll do? I want to do something really romantic for them, and they'll really connect this. The attractive man or woman sitting across from you at a dinner table, and you're just like, I want to make this person happy. I want them to think romance. I want them to think love. I want them to think me naked. And how I'm going to accomplish this is by getting them a cake with probably the least sexual image I can possibly think of.
Oh, hang on.
Which is a spiky metal robot with fangs from a Michael Bay movie.
What I'm hearing from you right now, Mikey, is you think that it would be better and more appropriate to have the body pillow Starscream image on this cake.
Yes,
is this what you're suggesting?
It would. I think it would be better to have a body pillow Starscream. Full stop.
But then you can't eat your shame away. It will be
believe
there
me, Andy, if you're someone who has a Starscream body pillow, you've tried.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay, let's think of a
you
one.
You can also get Megatron.
I'm thinking Megatron cake, love through tyranny. That's probably not the one you want to get for your partner. There's an Optimus Prime one. Love is the right of all sentient beings. Yeah. And Squeaks, there's a Squeaks one, and that could just be Chihuahua.
No, Squeaks, you're ugly, no one notices.
I got this especially for you, honey. You're cute and no one notices you. That's how you break up with someone, Mikey.
I didn't say it. I did not write that down. I didn't come up with that line.
It was the Japanese. The Japanese wrote it on the cake. It's not my fault. I just imported it.
The Japanese did it. That never ended well in history. Oh, dear.
And there are also little other type of cakes, which I can't remember what they're called. What are these ones called, Mikey? These macaroons. That's it. They're macaroons with, again, Squeaks, his full body, and the faces of Prime Megatron and Bumblebee. There's a Happy Valentine's Day one in Techno font, and then Transformers for another one.
Like, it's not even the cute Transformers.
No.
It's not even the ones that you could go like, oh, look, they look so animu.
Yeah.
These are the hideous monstrosities that do not scream love.
No.
They do not scream I care. They scream I'm watching you sleep, and oh, is that your baby bunny? I love your baby bunny. He will go well as a shoe. oh, he's not dead yet. It's fine. He'll still fit.
It seems to be a very Japanese thing to have for holiday events, to have these kind of cakes just going out to kids. Because, I mean, me and you both watch Kamen Rider. How many adverts have there been for Kamen Rider Christmas cakes?
But those are Christmas. That's Christmas. I will accept
sense.
Christmas. I will not accept Valentine's Day, which is aimed to people at least 14 years old and up.
Hey, maybe
like,
it's shown,
especially
maybe
when
it's shown
there's
the
so
market is older than we anticipated.
Maybe, but I'm just thinking like there's all those like Japan is very like traditional in it, or at least it has a lot of traditions for Valentine's Day, and this is not something I'd want playing in those traditions.
Are you saying you're strongly against this in the...
I would say if I was a Japanese person and I got this, I would perhaps not consider dating the person who gave me the cake. I would consider asking them to give that cake to someone else.
They're super hot, they're super rich. Mikey's like, they got me a Transformers cake for Valentine's Day.
If they're super hot and super rich, I'm trained by anime to think that they're a bitch. Or that they are about to fall on me because they're complete klutzes. Basically, something will end with me in hospital.
Okay, yeah, I could live with that.
Or they're a snake lady and I will definitely end up in hospital.
I could again live with this. I mean, for you to...
He can't. God bless him. He can't. He'll die soon. How is there not a second season of that?
Of what?
What do you think?
Oh, Aho Girl.
No, Monster Musume.
Oh, that as well, yeah.
Aho Girl, I'm amazed that hasn't been announced to the bloody ceilings that we're doing a second season.
They should.
Because I checked, there's like 100 manga chapters.
It needs
There's loads. There's loads they could do.
Anyway, Mr. Mikey, we're done with cakes, we're done with crap. Why don't you tell me about some third-party stuff?
Yeah, Ocular Max, Mastermind Creation, sort of sub-line, although, like, I've heard it might have gone off on their own.
Really?
Have revealed images of Hellion, which is their masterpiece-scale G1 cliff jumper. This is a cartoon-styled, more or less, cliff jumper. Turns into the squishiest little sports car I have ever seen. With... I'm going to have to check at some point if this is accurate, but he seems to have a little laser cannon on his hood. I'm assuming that flips down.
I would hope so, or at least maybe you can remove it, because it seems really out of place on the front of that vehicle.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's a reference to something. The rest of it it's a pretty simple looking toy, it has to be said. They're trying to be as accurate to sort of just the general cliff jumper appearance, of course. For me, he doesn't light any fires under me. He's fairly unremarkable.
Is that just because it's cliff jumper, or would you say that's just the mold in general? I
would say the mold in general. I also don't like they went quite so squishy with the car mode.
Okay.
I think the robot mode would probably look better if they'd made a more realistic looking car. Just because I think it would have given him a bit more of dynamic proportions. Something really throwing me off is how small his arms look compared to the rest of his body.
Yeah.
They look so wee.
They do, actually, yeah.
So I think, the head sculpt is great, and just the general layout is fine. It's just the proportions are throwing me off quite a bit. What about you, Andy? What are your thoughts?
I'm never wowed that much by Cliff Jumper. He's never one of those characters I'm like, oh man, I need to get me some Cliff in my life. Unless it was the Rocks version, then things get different, because that was cool. But like you say, it just seems to be fine. Like I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with it. I don't have a huge issue with his vehicle mode. It's not accurate to G1. But for trying to do what they're doing and make a masterpiece style one, so you can have a door that opens and have a proper seat inside, for whatever reason, priority. That's a thing you can go for, I suppose. It just seems like it's fine. I just don't know why there's a gun weird thing coming off the top in that vehicle mode. That must be replaceable.
Scrolling down, they have an old test shot, or an older test shot, and that's the little gun thing's gone.
Okay,
so it looks like that's the rotating panel. It also shows that he comes with interchangeable head, the cannon he used to shoot Megatron in the dick, a couple of small guns, and skis.
Oh yeah, for that time that they were going to, what was it? It was a hydroelectric plant or something, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Or am I confusing that with the time that they used a wave and surfboards? Because that was the thing that they also did, wasn't it?
There was much tubularness.
Well, 80s, 90s, good time. It's hard to, I'll say it's hard to kind of gauge what the face difference is from this image. Is he happier?
He looks like he's smiling a bit.
Because shouldn't like his other face be you have a standard face and then isn't his other kind of default thing him either with his mouth open? I remember him aghast a lot or angry, saying that Mirage was a cunt. Basically, he did that a lot.
Was it him or Braun? Yeah. It was Cliffjumper who did it.
Braun was saying Perceptor was a
Perceptor.
cunt, and he was saying Mirage was.
Yeah, basically they're not pleasant people.
No, the two of the smallest dudes were just assholes, effectively.
Yep. Anything else you want to say about him? Yeah, I'll cover this one as well, just because it's pretty much the same thing. Masterminds Creations Ocular Max has also revealed Assaultus, which is the first in their or actually it's Assaultus, which is better. But that is their masterpiece Vortex. Now, unlike the previous Vortexes we've seen in this kind of masterpiece scale, this one is very G1, very sort of G1-y classic 1980s rescue helicopter style thing, or military helicopter. I don't know my helicopters. They're not real. They're tissue lies.
My God.
They're actually they're all upside down hovercrafts.
Jesus.
But yeah, and it shows this is like early stages, no paint or anything, but the robot mode looks basically like an articulated G1 figure. But it also shows the hands are integrated into the Bruticus hands are integrated into the actual robot. So it looks like they're going to be trying to do this without extra parts, which I'm going to be very curious once they get on to like Swindle and Brawl. And especially, I'll also be curious when they get onto Onslaught, just what's going to be integrated, what not. Very little to actually say for this. I like the arm mode. It's my favorite bit of this toy.
Okay.
Like, the general aesthetic of the arm really works for me. The helicopter is neat, but it's dinky. And the robot really needs more on it to make me care.
You mean color-wise?
Yeah, it's very difficult for me to judge the toy now. It's a purple block.
Dark grey. Yeah, like you say, it's hard to really get a feel for the toy since he's very unpainted and it's not a close-up shot, so you can't really see the detail.
Nope.
He does have some hip skirts, like a fucking Gundam.
Yeah.
And fingers in his shins as well.
Yeah, he has finger shins that are doing. That if you look at them right, they're doing rock hands.
Oh yeah. I can kind of see that. I think that's an interesting idea to try and make it as built in as possible. I wonder if that will become a detriment to the figure, because I'm sure it probably has to be, right, to some extent, at least.
I don't know. I'm seeing something interesting as well. It looks like instead of what every other combiner is doing, which is the sort of robot legs become joints. It's following the same pattern, but there's a lot more locking together, so it's a much more solid looking arm.
Right.
And there's also very clearly dedicated joints in there that do function in the robot mode, but are pretty strong. Like I think they're the knees, or like they're a double knee, but they've clearly got a joint that's very strongly intended to be the elbow. So I think there's going to be some very heavy engineering going on in this guy.
I will say as well that it seems like from the hand mode, again, quite a far away shot. I know Mr. Chris won't be impressed because there are no ball joints in the fingers, so you can't splay those fingers out.
Yep.
You can probably get him to flipping the bird, though.
Faux shame.
But hey, as long as he can flip the bird, that's the main thing, because that's what people do.
Yes, that's the important thing in life.
So I quite like the helicopter mode as well. I think it's quite nice. I mean, it's a helicopter, but it looks accurate enough, at least to my simple, non-aerodynamic eyes.
In that case, Andy, take us on to something from Fans Toys.
Sure, Fans Toys have shown us some prototype images of Jabba. Not the Hutt. None of those guys from Star Wars. Not Star Wars. This is the FT-39 Jabba. It's masterpiece scaled blur. And it doesn't... Oh no, it seems like he may come with his gun Haywire? Is that what it's called?
Oh, I don't know the Target Masters.
I think it's Haywire. Maybe. I'm not good with the Autobot ones. I'm sure I've mentioned this before. So we have a few images of him with previous releases like Cute and Rouge, not the Bat.
The Dodgy RC.
The Dodgy. Oh, is that the Dodgy? Yeah, that's right.
That is the Dodgy RC.
Yeah.
Please listen back to old shows for why she's called the Dodgy RC.
That was a
She's
fun-
pretty dodgy.
Those pretty fun times. Yes, it
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Apparently, it is Haywire. His partner. It says in the story. I got it right. Yeah. I must have read that. I wouldn't have remembered that otherwise. I won't give myself too much credit. Okay, Mikey. We see him in a prototype form, at least in robot mode, and then we have CG representations or renders for his hover car floaty mode thingamabob. How do you feel about Blur, the Jabberwocky?
He looks like Blur. I feel like there's some engineering cues being taken from the Titan's Return one, to be completely honest.
Like what?
The arms are really screaming it to me. Just the way the front of the vehicle seems to fold in. Like, it's more complicated, but it gives them that, spiky elbow.
Does that not just kind of show how well Titan's Return did that at a much more retail-friendly and deluxe scale, where this can just kind of go crazy?
Perhaps.
I don't know.
But yeah, like, it looks like his legs are going to be something of a jigsaw. We've got a back shot of them, and they look nuts. Like, what the good Jesus Christ is going on there?
I wonder if a third-party company is going to make, like, a shell to, like, just go over the top of that and be like, well, just clean this up. Don't worry about it.
Nothing.
I don't want to say it's messy. I mean, yes, it is kind of messy. I'll be interested to see, like you said, how this jigsaw's together, and if we're gonna have clashing colors. I don't think we will, because Blur's fairly blue anyway.
Yeah. Someone did a Photoshop, and he just looks like Blur. He'll just look like Blur.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing it.
I don't know. Like, it looks like Blur. Like, it's trying very hard to be cartoon accurate. Does not come with interchangeable breastplates. I'm sure.
Shame.
Shame. But one thing I do find very distracting, and this is just like, I really hope this comes with a replacement piece, is the clear plastic chest.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure, like, one, if it's tinted, it'll look better anyway. But if I could be able to, if I had it and could swap that out for, like, a just normal plastic thing, I would be much, much, much happier.
I can see where you're coming from.
Because otherwise it just sort of looks like, someone's murdered his insides.
I don't. I think I mean, in the Digi Shop images, you can see it's been painted over. If it's not painted, like you say, it'll probably be some kind of more colorful, translucent plastic. One would hope. Hopefully, quite a hard color, so it's not so noticeable, but so it still kind of just looks like glass.
I'm just looking at their cup, and their cup just has a plastic chest.
He does. I
So
think it's
I
because
would
no
like-
one can fit inside of him.
Yeah, but I don't. I would like the option of it not looking like someone's hollowed Blur out to live in him.
It's what I would do with Blur. That's how you get him stopping to talk. Hollow him out.
He was Jabber, now he simply is.
I do like the image of Coot just like hand over face, like, oh my god, shut up. Why couldn't I have killed you instead of Outback? Spoilers
Yep.
for a comic that's like 40,000 years old at this point.
Yep.
We're dead. Mikey, do you want to take us on to DX9?
Andy, have you ever tried to stop at the time?
I have. It's not gone well. I've had to jump out of the way of moving cars many a time.
Yeah, well, now you can stop at the time multiple times. Because we have two Masterpiece Styles movie Hot Rod. First up, we have DX9, 999, which are doing a collaboration with Unique Toys.
Ooh, okay.
Didn't see that one coming.
All right.
Which they've done K3 Le Hire.
You what now?
Le Hire.
Okay.
You have to say it like that because it's French. And it is a Masterpiece style movie Hot Rod. We get to see mostly CAD models, I think. Or like painted prototype, or like digital prototypes and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, he looks like, again, these movie third-party things are kind of awe-inspiring just because the sheer engineering that must go into them. But he is pretty on the ball in terms of the robot mode. His alt mode, I'm assuming they're going to be taking some very careful liberties because, their supercar companies don't take nicely to the old ripping off.
No.
Yeah. Accessory-wise, he will come with his time gun to stop the time.
Woo!
He will also come with a submachine gun.
Does that stop time?
No, that just stops your inside.
Oh, no.
And if you book early, you will get a flame accessory to go on the front of this, because naturally a time bubble gun needs fire. And most importantly of all, you get a posable figure that can go inside of him of Vivian, called the figure heroine, which is Vivian with her staff. And wow, did you spend time shaping that body, guys? Like, almost unnecessary amounts of time.
For the size of the figure, it will probably... I wonder how big it will be. Do you think it's going to be the size of, like, the Sandwich Wiki Hero Alliance things?
I really hope not, because oh my god, the things people will do.
Would you not hope they would, so you could have wonky-eyed Sam and wonky-eyed Michaela?
Well, I'm more worried, like, what if it's the same size as, like, I don't know, Chip from Sunstreaker?
What are you saying?
Chip, it is time to make you a man.
Oh, see, I thought you were suggesting she would, like, throw him out of his wheelchair and steal it from him.
Well, she's got bendable knees, so she could.
This is my device now.
Just pushing herself along with the staff. But I'm sorry, like, I have to point it out because, my god, they went to they went for a figure that's really very unposable. They sure went a lot of time on the sculpt, shall we say?
At least for this CAD model, I would say.
At least for this CAD model. Really hope she's not painted to look like she's wearing a onesie.
It would
but
probably be easier for them if they did.
I'd really wish they wouldn't.
Skin tight. I wonder if she has a butt crack. A molded
Please
butt
stop
crack.
Please stop talking.
No, well, you know.
It was I still not over the, oh look, she's a super intelligent Oxford person, and here is very clear side boob, because she's legal, everyone! She's confirmed legal.
There was none of this sex jokes as well, Mikey.
None of this underage looking through her legs crap. We can just stare at her boobs.
You should have a boyfriend, I feel. Why don't you have a boyfriend yet? Have you had the sex?
He hasn't had the sex. Look, it's protecting him from the sex.
That movie.
Oh my god. And then the BDSM. Yeah. So yeah, she can fit inside Hot Rod and shut up. Stop at the time. I have to admit, I think he's turning out pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts, Andy?
You know, he doesn't look too bad. From the other things that DX9 have done for the movie line, like the Lockdown and who was the other one that they did? They did Lockdown and who else?
I think either them or Unique Toys are doing an Optimus.
Yeah, someone like that. Either way, those guys look like they're doing a pretty solid job on these figures. And it's nice to have. I'm sure it is good to have them if you're inclined to have movie figures. This is probably the bee's knees, as they say in the 40s, I'm sure. So yeah, kind of neat stuff. You may as well take the next story as well, since it's Hot Rod related.
A new company, TF Evo, have got prototypes of TE01 Hotfire, which is, of course, their masterpiece movie Hot Rod. He is a lot more stylized, I think.
Yes, his face is completely different.
His face is different. The way his chest and everything else works, it looked like there's a lot more cheating going on. His shoulders are different. He puts me more in mind of the XS Toys More Than Meets the Eye style.
Okay,
just in terms of his proportions and everything else.
Yeah.
Obviously not the design. We don't know anything about his accessories except he will come with the gun. Very little to actually say about the aesthetic. I have to admit, I would prefer the DX9 Unique Toys one. I think aesthetically that works more for me. What about you, Andy?
I'm more into this one. Maybe not this color scheme, but I could see this one being a pretty decent version of the what were they called from animated? The Auto Troopers.
Oh yeah.
The face I don't know why, but the face also makes me think a little bit. There's some liberties, so just kind of go along with me on the right here. A little bit T1000.
Yeah.
Because it kind of looks like he's got a motorbike police helmet on. And that's obviously he's got a weird like Sub-Zero Scorpion mask on the front of him, but it reminds me of that. I kind of like this a little bit more. I'd like it maybe not to be as complex in the details, so it could fit in with the rest of a toy line, and then color him up to look a little bit different. It's not something I'd buy, But I do appreciate it. But I'm not sure. I wonder if it'll have a market, just because it's not. If you're gonna be going for a hot rod toy, are you gonna be going for an off-model hot rod toy?
That is a question.
Yeah. I can't imagine you would. I would think if you're going to pony up the money for a third-party movie-styled figure, you'd want to get the movie-styled figure that looks right.
Yeah, I would definitely be a bit more about it.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see how they do, because it doesn't look like a bad figure. I'll be interested to hear, feedback from the people who buy this sort of thing and see if it's trash or if it's good or whatnot, So time will tell, I guess, Mr. Mikey. Does it actually transform? Do we see an image of it in a vehicle mode?
We don't, but you can see all the engineering's there for it to transform. Somehow.
Yeah. I just wasn't sure as there was no just image of it in a car mode or anything like that. All right, cool. Shall it take us on then, Mikey?
Yes.
Well, Mikey, in a galaxy far, far away and long time ago and whatnot, there were Star Wars powered by Transformers.
Oh my god. It won't die.
So Japan's shown off colored images of the, I guess, Chewie and Han Solo robots that form together to make the Millennium Falcon of their new Star Wars Transformers line that they seem to be doing. So I guess a good thing to do, if you remember, because you'll probably remember this better than me, is how do they compare versus the 2006 versions? How do you think they stack up versus those, Mikey, before I get your thoughts on just these two individually?
Well, I mean, it would be hard to be worse.
I don't know. There is always the line with the Cobra Tank Megatron, the Titanium line, that's it.
Even then, I would say it was hard to be worse.
Ow, come on.
They were in my snits for about 5 years. I honest to God don't think anyone actually bought them in the end. I think they threw them away.
Do you remember the Cobra Megatron that I
Yes,
gave you?
Andy. Yes, I do.
Are you really saying that is better than them?
I would say that, I would just leave them both on the fire.
But if you had to take one of them with you on your road
I
to
wouldn't.
hell...
Then I would just burn. I would just burn in the fire. There are choices that are not to be made.
I like the idea that the devil's just there stood next to the gates of hell, his arms folded, saying, "No, we're not leaving until you make a decision."
And the response is, "Then we ain't leaving." Settle down, red boy. You're going to be there for a while. But yeah, I would say these look better. They don't look like Transformers. They look like giant space robots. They look like they should be in an anime where they are fighting the giantest of space monsters. Especially the Han Solo with basically all of the arm cannons. And he did shoot first. But yeah, I'm just looking at this. Is like someday there is going to be an anime where these are going to feature.
That would be neat. I'd be okay to see that.
They're not trying as hard to imitate the real characters. No one's trying to do a Harrison Ford face here. It's just kind of generic. I've got a faceplate robot. Chewbacca, they did try to make him look more like Chewbacca, but oddly enough, though, he does seem to have the painted bandolier thing. The Han Solo side. But yeah, I kind of like these. If I'm completely honest. They're weird.
Yeah, they don't look bad for what they are. They don't look like something I'd go out my way for, but they look like they combine together to form a pretty decent Millennium Falcon as well, for the most part.
Yeah. No, I mean they look like they were engineered by people who know what Transformers are and are engineering Transformers, which is very different from what the old Transformers line, the Star Wars line, used to be. Which was we've seen Transformers in books. And now we're making them. Oh God! But
good luck with that.
It's the difference between going to Bandai USA and Bandai Japan. If when you're looking at products. But I mean, what do you think of them?
I don't think they're too bad. I'd kind of like some closer up images of their faces to really get an idea of what they look like. You have the Han Solo robot with a Han Solo-esque blaster in his hand, and the Chewie has a Chewie giant robot crossbow energy blaster, which is weird, but okay, sure. I hope they combine together solidly and there are good clips to hold them in that mode. Because, as a kid, I would imagine you want to have this and you want to swoosh it about and you don't want them just kind of flopping in half unless, you want that battle damage or whatever. But yeah, they look neat. I wonder how and where the two minifigures are going to go. The human Han Solo and the Chewbacca Chewie. Like, I doubt they can both go in that cockpit. They look too big for that. I don't know where they'd go in this thing, if anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's a space in the Darth Vader, but I think it's going to be kind of like there's a hatch that you can lift up. These two go in. They don't even look like they go anywhere on the figure, but they can be stored inside. I think that's going to be something
You're probably
they have.
right. Yeah, I could see that. Well, I guess, Mikey, if you can take us on to Sakamoto Art Hour.
Yeah, so we've got two comics this week. It's 58 and 59, the ones that came with the Autobot clones, and Bliztwing. These are set before the wonderful world of Mega's restaurant. I'm calling it Mega's because she's the one that left the impression in that book. Wear underwear, woman, for God's sake. But yeah, so these are fairly simple ones. Well, the clones one is anyway. So first up, we have Fastlane and Cloudraker. They show up in the Legends world, and Waspinator tells them that he has basically been hired by Megatron to inform new people who show up what the hell the Legends world is. Megatron's kind of like, I don't know what's so special about you, why are you clones? And then it turns out they're on the run from the Galactic Peace Alliance that Ultra Magnus was working for, and the fake Spike Wiki and Hound, who showed up in an earlier issue. And they stole data, and now they're being chased down. Fastlane makes a run for it, knowing he's the one with the data. The fake Spike and Hound chase him to a dead end. He starts freaking out. And then Fastlane goes, "Haha, I'm not actually scared. You've actually gone after Cloudraker. Ha 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 ha." What? Then Cloudraker claims the data Fastlane took. He said that the data Fastlane took has evidence that the Spike is a fake, causing an argument to break out between Spike and Hound as the Autobot grows suspicious. Oh, Hound didn't realize. And demands to know what exactly the clones are guilty of. While Cloudraker is glad they're being distracted long enough for Fastlane to get away, his hopes are dashed when Fastlane shows up to rescue him. They flee using Cloudraker's plane mode. Spike orders Hound to kill them. Hound is kind of like, no. Fastlane then shoots Spike, destroying his disguise and revealing him to be Old Snake. Yeah. Snake manages to escape, and Hound takes care of destroys the incriminating data and promises to sniff out wherever he is hiding. The clones are having a bit of a celebration. Rat Trap notes they're really quite different from each other, and Tigertron is reminded of the Spot the Difference games. Because, Tigertron has two settings, dumb and pervert. So yeah, this is probably one of the least, fascinating ones. Just because it's a pretty normal Transformers story. Yeah. The big reveal is that, haha, we are actually slightly different. Not exactly mind-blowing. I mean, what's your thoughts, Andy?
Yeah, it was okay. It was nice to see that it was Old Snake, and Old Snake gets referenced, and it was also kind of neat that the floppy disk that they had is the floppy disk from Headmasters, which is a really random thing to reference.
Just a tad. Dear. Well, moving on from that, we have the superior book, which is Bliztwing. Bliztwing, like everyone else, has been brought over from the normal world and shrunk into a headmaster, and he's not really happy about it. So him and Astro Train are hanging out in Hardhead's bar, and he's basically going, I feel like I've been here before. And Astro Train thinks he's just spinning tall tales and makes fun of him for being unable to fight without orders. On the way home, Bliztwing insists he'd be the perfect soldier if he only had the perfect strategist to give him orders, kind of proving Astro Train's point. But he stops when he recalls his past and warns Astro Train that the area is about to be bombed. Indeed, an army of tanks and jets has suddenly overrun the city. An army that Bliztwing used to be a part of? Okay. Mayor Megatron, world's greatest hero, recognizes that this is a bunch of Quintesson military hardware, even though last Quintessons are supposed to have been sucked into a dimensional fissure. Sound Blaster explains that this is going deep into crazy Japanese lore. Apparently, in something, the Quintessons literally got sucked into dimensional fissure. Sound Blaster explains that the Quintessons have invented ways to transverse space-time, meaning that the passage of time is irrelevant. These Quintessons are from the past. The Quintessons leading the army is ordering his soldiers to destroy the city and turn it into an area where they can build factories and exile criminals, because that's all they do. And then Bliztwing shows up to be the hero. Angry because he used to be a Quintesson slave. He's easily tossed around by an overcharge, which is the repaint Bliztwings. And he's lamenting that he's no good at planning and strategies and he can't fight. And then a mysterious robot mammoth shows up, who is Big Fight. And he offers to be his strategist. Astrotrain has fetched him a Transdector and shoots down one of the overcharges. And Bliztwing modifies it into his own Transdector. Big Fight doesn't actually have a plan. He turns into a gun and tells Bliztwing to, basically, for God's sake, think of something. Bliztwing decides that he's tired of being ordered about. He basically just turns around and shoots people in the face a lot. He then transforms into a tank in midair to crush the Quintesson's overcharge. When the Quintessons escape, the overcharge begins despairing that he's not received orders and doesn't know what to do, causing Bliztwing to have a revelation. This is him from the past. So he just landed on himself. Looking his past self in the eyes, he tells him he is now named Bliztwing and gives him his first orders to be free, think for himself, and do whatever he enjoys doing. The army flees back to their own universe, with the Quintessons deeming whoever created this world is dangerous and they need to figure out who it was, while Bliztwing watches and recalls that, he did get his name from a big purple guy once. You'd think you'd remember that. You'd think you'd remember someone who looked basically like me, but purple, named me. He asks Big Fight who he is, and the mammoth reveals he's just a local nerd who's got Transformer sickness, which is a thing. Look it up. Who saw a chance to fight alongside the G1 Transformer and took it. Bliztwing then goes drinking with Astrotrain, explaining that after abandoning the Quintessons, he joined the Decepticons, helped attack the Ark, and ended up on Earth, and Astrotrain doesn't give a damn. And then Big Fight reveals himself to secretly be the unassuming high school teacher, Big Convoy, who dozes off because he's not used to this much physical exertion. This is fun. I love Bliztwing with his little military hat. A tiny little soldier hat. And Hardhead has a bandana. Yeah, but so we were Shuffler, a Japanese concept, got repainted into a Decepticon called Big Fight, who in this isn't a Decepticon at all. He's an alternate universe version of Big Convoy.
What?
Oh, bless you, Hayato Sakamoto. But I enjoyed this. It's great. I like that Starscream's now working with Megatron. Because I probably, just for the simple reason of, you can work for me, or, I can let her loose. And she'll find you. And I'll let her.
I see it's more as, or you can go back to the sex dungeon.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back to the sex dungeon.
She keeps trying to kill me to put me inside her. Also, I like Shockwave's tie. Everyone's got ties.
Yeah, well, Megatron runs a classy business organization.
Damn straight. But yeah, though it's fun. What about you, Andy? What do you think?
I liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I like the fact that in the Hardhead's bar, his little tiny tank, which would become his gun, is serving drinks and is alive. Apparently it talks at one point. That's pretty neat. Yep. I did notice one miscoloration on page 2, where the overcharge picks up Bliztwing's head. His helmet changes color for some reason.
Oh yeah, it's green.
Which I was like, ooh, look at that. Yeah, it turns green instead of purple for some reason. No, it's one of those fun ones. It's like, why is this big convo? What? And this is like continuity wise, this happens. It always has to happen this way because of causality.
Yep.
They've now introduced the concept of time loops and things that have to happen because if they don't, time unravels.
Yep. And the ultimate revelation that Bliztwing named himself.
Yeah. How does that work?
How did he not realize?
How does the cycle start?
Like, how did it, at the start, how did he never question the fact that he was being named by someone who was identical to him but purple?
Well, I guess he's not a very bright robot.
No, there is that.
Yeah.
Oh,
But he does have a cool hat, so...
Yeah, and I who's in Big Convoy's class? We've got Karada, we've got Stampy, and we've got Longrack. But all of which appear to be Bonchos.
Do they have the Boncho hairstyle, or is it just the black uniform?
They've got the coat with the lifted up collar, and Karada has a hat.
Okay, fair enough.
To be fair, if there were any Transformers characters who would fit that archetype, it's the crew, it's Big Convoy's crew. Well, like half of it. Like, I'm surprised Break isn't in there.
Well, he only had a small panel, so...
No. But yeah, so fun. Andy, take us on to some more Takara news.
Okay, this is a weird one, because it feels like this isn't as much of a news story as it appears to be. Takara Tomy Wonderfest 2018 announces with a show exclusive Evasion Mode Nemesis Prime. And I feel we've had this before?
I
or
was
is this
sure.
Just KO versions?
I was 100% sure we had. And then I looked it up. We've never had this mold in Scourge Nemesis colors. Excuse me. Scourge Nemesis colors. Never, ever.
Well, legally, surely.
I can't comment on the knockoff side of things, but I can tell you that there has never been an official release of this toy as this character.
I'm sure we've had a knockoff version. But either way, he is getting an official release. It's going to be on sale on the 18th of February. The company is inviting Transformers fans to visit their booth at Wonderfest. And if you want, you can pick him up there. Takara Tomy is planning to debut Power of the Primes figures as well as the possible Studio Series toys with diorama displays, movie The Best, Lost Age, and the Last Night figures, which will act as a 10th anniversary celebration. So this is kind of why they have this as their kind of star figure, I suppose. Cool.
I think he looks good. I mean, for what I understand, this is a really, like, people like this mold who haven't.
Yeah, and, we know the Japanese like to do black repaints of things, so that's also a thing. I
am still slightly flabbergasted that this is new.
Yeah, it seems like we should have had this a while ago.
Yeah, it does.
That's it. That's the story. I guess, Mikey, do you wanna take us on to the next?
Yeah. Via Weibo user, who I will not even attempt to murder your name because I cannot read katakana. We have a test shot of movie series Grimlock. Now this guy has shown up, of course, in the infamous PowerPoint slides. And this is the leader one that's never been officially confirmed. But I like it. No official confirmation, so take it with a grain of salt. Everything on that PowerPoint exists. Everything. And it literally couldn't be anything else. Literally. But yeah, so this is a white test shot of the leader Grimlock. Shows him with the mace arm. Some transformational elements look to be like his bottom jaw becomes part of the left arm. Some trickery going on with the shoulders. It's very hard to really comment on anything in the design in this. It just the base robot looks pretty competent. But this is more important for the fact that, it's pretty much confirmation the toy's coming. So maybe at Wonderfest we'll see a preview, perhaps. Who knows?
I hope so.
Any comments, Andy?
Not really. No, I don't. I got nothing.
In that case, take us on to the single most... And my God, did the internet get pissed.
Yeah, once again, someone's decided to color in images of toys as we have possible Transformers Evergreen Generations mainline toys in the pipeline. So this was announced about
Cyberverse,
a week
for
ago.
the love of God.
Nah, they're not gonna. Announced about a week ago or so. We have images from a reputable Weibo user. A TF factory seems to be providing evidence to exactly that it's going to happen, I mean. Though the content of the packages are edited out, this new reveal seems to feature Evergreen Autobot Bumblebee for what looks as though it's going to be a deluxe or Voyager iteration of that figure. I would probably suspect deluxe, and it probably be in a box similar to the
Well, they've
to the
got two
movie
boxes.
figures.
They've got two boxes. See.
Yeah, no, I see it, but we've seen in those packages usually the carded ones. We've seen the kind of shitty ones, we'll call them. So I would imagine the shitty figure ones go in there.
Maybe. I don't know. Like, it's difficult. I could see this being more comparable to Warrior than Deluxe, and I could see that being a Warrior kind of card pack.
I mean, you could be right. Who knows?
Because
it seems fairly
I would be a bit surprised if they went the route of the movie line, because this is going to be the affordable, child-friendly line.
Yeah.
Not the, hey, buy your expensive movie crap. So this is where I would expect them to have it at the normal price point, so I wouldn't expect the same kind of packaging. Unless they finally just admit that the packaging was all nonsense and they were just trying to bump the price up.
Could be right. Well, it's happened before, so I don't know. There's not much to talk about here, but like you said, Mikey, a lot of people getting annoyed because once again, it's just here's the package, but let's just like pen over the top of it for no particular reason, which seems weird. If this is going to be a thing, why are people even talking about this? You know, why was this even put on a news site? Because it, to me, at least, doesn't seem like a huge amount of news. And I know the irony in that is, why is this on the podcast then if you don't even think it's news? But I'm tickled once again by the fact that someone's been penning over images. Mikey, any thoughts yourself?
Yeah, I can kind of understand why someone was doing this, because basically they get to be blunt. They get to be a bit of a prick and remain relevant longer. Rather than releasing the image. Releasing the image automatically, or rather, releasing the image like this also kind of tests the waters in case Hasbro or Takara are going to come down on you. So if maybe it's like, oh, I don't release the toy, full stop. If I'm safer. I don't know. I just think it's someone who is kind of annoying. Then again, the sheer amount of bile and rage I have seen in the last week about this is completely over the top to an almost ridiculous level. People have been utterly ludicrous about this. Like, you would have thought that someone had come in, taken their newborn baby and covered the newborn baby in marker with some of their reactions. Like, I'm scribbling over your baby, then I can put pictures of them on the internet, and now, maybe 6 months down the line you'll be able to show a proper photo. But it's people have been flipping the fuck out, and calm your tits, to use a phrase my mother uses sometimes. It's not that important. We know what the Cyberverse designs are. All this is going to tell us is this more jointed. And I mean, those images won't even tell you scaled, if they do go the movie line with the boxes. I don't know, but I just would like the nickname Evergreen to go away, please, now. Because it's very obvious what line this is. Very obvious. Yeah, that's that.
Yeah, well, you may as well take us on to the next bit of news, Mr. Mikey.
This is a quick one. Power of the Primes and the line I was just talking about has been spotted in Germany. TFW member Plex Director first discovered Wave 1 of the Power of the Primes, Prime Masters, Legends, and Deluxes at Toys R Us in Downton, Essen. I've been there. Last Friday, TFW member Morasame also found him in the Bravo line, which was the Bumblebee, Optimus, Starscream, and Megatron at Bielefeld. I haven't been there. On Saturday, or last Saturday. These were labeled as TF Generation. I'm assuming there was a Genitarians. Genitarians Project Storm. I'm assuming that's a spelling error. Finally, Nevermore found not only Wave 1, but the Voyagers at Toys R Us in Duisburg, Meidrich. Sorry, German people, I learned your language in school, but I didn't learn it well. The prices are as follows. Prime Masters are €8, Legends are €15, Deluxes are €23, Voyagers are €32, Leaders are €65. Ooh, that's a bit of a jump. And the other ones, which I'm not saying the name, are €8. Apart from the Leaders, those are pretty much in the same ballpark, in general, that we have over here. Maybe a hair, no, actually, it's the same, because, that's going to be like $22.99 or whatever. But the Leaders are a huge jump in price. Like, a ridiculous jump in price, in my opinion. That's ludicrous. That's utterly ludicrous, in my opinion. But, yeah. The one more bit of Power of the Primes news I'll just throw in. We have concept art from Emiliano Santalucia's Facebook for the Power of the Primes leader, Rodimus, sort of like how the evolution gimmick worked and how he came up with it. Originally, it was going to be a bit different with, it looks like the actual chest of Hot Rod integrating with the chest of Rodimus a lot more, and then flipping up in a more traditional fashion. There was also an idea where it would basically work like the Masterpiece Hot Rod does, and then you'd have the Prime Master and the normal Matrix, like you'd put them in together. The vehicle mode doesn't look too different, but these are neat. There's not much to say about them, but I do like these kind of fun bits and bobs. Any thoughts yourself on either of those stories there, young Andrew?
Yeah, I think the designs for the Rodimus look a little bit cooler than what we got, but it's difficult to transfer designs to the real thing because there are more limitations than there are in 2D images. In terms of the prices and stuff, it's a little bit disappointing for me to hear that your prices and prices for Europe on these figures are probably going to go up quite dramatically. Probably means Mikey ain't going to be buying anything for a while.
There will be a hope for sales. Will be a hope for
course,
sales.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like that's the only way that it's going to be viable to buy them, because the prices are going up. But I wouldn't say they're doing anything significantly more impressive than they were before. I don't know about you if you'd agree or not.
I'd agree. I think like as toys, the only one that really does anything. Excuse me. The only ones that are doing anything different are the leaders. Everything else is doing the exact same thing as the Combiner Wars figures, combined with some Titan Master gimmicks. So it's one of those things where it's like, I don't think I'm getting more for my money.
No.
So, but on the other hand, I am going to be so glad when these come out, because my Smiths currently has an entire wall of Voyager Grimlocks from last night, all of which are priced at €23. And on the opposite wall is every other toy, which is still at full price. Every other movie toy, rather, is still at full price. And they've only got like 2 other deluxes, and I think the Voyager Optimus, and they're still like 26 and €32 each.
That's just sad. That's just really sad to hear that.
You'd think maybe they'd figured out that there's probably a reason these haven't moved yet.
You'd hope so. I don't know.
Yeah, Andy, take us on to some convention news.
Yeah, last bit of news we have is the fact that TF Nation 2018 pre-registration has gone up. So if you wanted to buy your ticket, they are £60. I almost said $60. £60 for the entire weekend, including the Friday panels, with £35 and £30 offered for Saturday and Sunday days. Sunday day passes. There we go. There's also a Stan Bush concert, which is an additional $15 for the weekend for attendees. $20 for those not
pounds,
there on
Andy.
the
Pounds.
Saturday.
Real money.
Pounds. Thank you. And the convention rate for the hotels are available as well, but I think for the most part, most of them have gone anyway, because that's just how it goes.
There was
people
something
asked me
of
online.
a
Well, a few people asked me if I'd gone and booked my room, and I said no. There's no point. It's just I don't want to deal with the faff of having to go through the internet kind of waiting period, and it's a lot of unnecessary stress where I know I'm probably not going to get it anyway. So just going to have to try and muddle through and find a room and find all that stuff later on, as I usually have to anyway. So that's the thing. Mikey, are you prepared for TF Nation 2018?
If I get to go this year. But I was more amused by the fact there seemed to be a lot of stink being kicked up again about the rooms. I only saw flashes of it, so I'm not really sure what the fuss was. But it seemed to be people fighting over hotel rooms, and then other people going like, well, why do you care so much about being in the hotel? And then like back and forth and everything else. But I missed most of it, so I don't know. Like, and to be honest, if there are any convention rate hotel rooms left, I'll be a bit surprised.
Same.
Yeah, nothing else. I do have one other bit of news, though.
Oh?
This popped up on February 1st, and I definitely wanted to throw it in. So, do you remember Karyudo fan subs, Andy?
Oh, I know what you're going to talk about. Yes, I do.
They did RID, and then they did Micron Legend, and then last year, I believe, they did Beast Wars 2nd. So for anyone who doesn't know, you can watch the entirety of Beast Wars 2nd using fan subs on their YouTube channel, or you can download it via torrents, or however you'd like. Apparently, they have said that if they were ever asked to hand over their subs for like official release, they would be absolutely on ball with that, doing that for free. So, hey, Hasbro. Shout Factory, whoever, Takara, you go talk to them. But they made a point at the time saying they would never, ever, 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 ever do Beast Wars Neo. Because they couldn't be arsed getting hold of good copies and everything else. Well, they've just announced that they're doing Beast Wars Neo. So this is confirmed that the final chapter of the Japanese Beast Wars saga, Beast Wars Neo, will be released by Karyudo fan subs via torrent and YouTube in the fourth quarter of 2018. This is going to take a while because they are doing this in their free time, and they all have real world, real life, real jobs, real families, a million other things. They can't give a currently accurate release date because they're, just trying to do the best they can. They don't plan on doing weekly releases. They want to do just batches. They prefer doing batches. As always, this is going to be a free fan sub, because if you pay for fan subs, you're a gum and a fool and just an idiot. Just looking through, because they give some the things. Yeah, like they've had a lot of offers to help. And then when people offered to help, no one helped. So they just decided, fuck it, we'll do it ourselves. But this is a relatively short Japanese series. It's about 35 episodes.
Huh.
And I think at least one of those is a clip show. So it's not going to be a big project. I mean, then again, like, I'm used to like writer shows and animes that go from 26 to 100 and something episodes or something like that. But yeah, this is really, really cool. This will be the last bit of major TV release Transformers fiction available in the West in some form. So we can all stop bitching and actually like watch the show and decide if it's good or not.
Woo!
Big Convoy has kind of a small meme culture around like the vague facts we've all learned via TF Wiki. So I'll be curious to see how he stands up when we actually know what he's saying. But yeah, I think this is cool. Do you think this is cool?
Yeah, like you say, it's nice to finally have the last bit of Transformers media available for the most part now. That's only a good thing.
Yeah, that's it. There's not much more to talk about. We'll hear from them again later in the year.
Cool. Yeah, sounds good. Well then, Mr. Mikey, what have you been up to this week? You done anything fun and funky and fresh?
I haven't bought anything because nothing to buy. Have watched some television. And read the Flash annual that just got released, because it was basically a Wally West, and it was good. Oh, it was so good. My God, that guy knows to write a good story. But yeah, TV-wise, Kamen Rider Build 21 today. I would say the best episode in the series. I
really?
found it.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought it was a very strong character focus. Fell apart a little in the last 5 minutes. Just because they rushed an ending, I think. But it introduces Build Hazard, which is the best looking suit in the show so far. Which is interesting because a lot of it is just the base build suit, but a lot of it isn't, and it's a very different kind of rider suit. I've never seen an all black suit before. But yeah, it's very heavy, a very, very serious episode, lots of character development, some plot, but the plot is definitely pushed to the side in favor of examining basically how the three riders view the war, and big emphasis on they are now in a war. Like, the gloves are off. Build has a surprisingly high body count for a modern rider show, and they take advantage of that this time. But yeah, Stark's in it, and he's a dick. He's becoming more and more, like, any sympathy left for that character is gone. It is gone out the window. But yeah, I'm very, very interested. Like some very good Sento stuff. My only concern is because there's signs of it in this. This is going to be resolved very quickly, and then they're going to move on because toy has to be introduced. And hey, Build sure handles the toy aspect of things piss poor. They did it again. Like, there's not just Hazard in this one, but they introduced another new form. And based on the preview, there's going to be another new form in the next episode. And a new best match. Oy. But yeah, so like worth watching. If you've been keeping up with the series, for me, it's the highlight of the show. Really hope this tonal shift sticks around. Very different way of analyzing the main character in a writer show. What else? I've watched the next couple of episodes of Killing Bites. I'm less intrigued by it now. It kind of devolved into raunchy humor, switch to hyperviolence. Raunchy humor, hyperviolence. I can handle both of those. Well, I can handle both of those things. They're perfectly good things. But they need a bit of meat to them. They need something in between. They need like really good comedy or really excellent action. And the action decent, and the comedy's decent. Neither one is blowing my mind. Checked out a couple more episodes of Beatless, which I mentioned a while ago. It's weird. It's really hitting the sort of like android super girlfriend thing, but suddenly we're going into one of the side characters is in the military secretly.
Okay,
and
sure.
like being trained to be a soldier, and I'm like, okay, I'm curious now. I'm very curious. I might stick with it longer than I was expecting. I may not, but I'm. That was just like wasn't expecting that. What else? Oh, Darling in the Franxx, episode 4, what I kind of call the happy everything's fine episode, where we get, oh, now I know how to use my superpowers, which, considering the nature of the show, will not blow up in his face at all. And considering her superpowers are essentially sticking her ass in his face. If that blows, his head will come off. But there's some dark undertones in this, very dark undertones in this, but it kind of moved over for the heroic, yay, I can finally fight moment. But the darkness isn't gone. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm really liking the show. I saw one review which said, oh my god, it's the worst show on anime ever. And I'm just like, I remember people saying that about other shows that I liked. Yeah, but I don't have normal taste. I know that, but I know what I like. And this is hitting a lot of the darker things I enjoy. It's goofy as fuck sometimes. The aesthetics for the robots is really working for me. I am very amused by the fact that essentially what if robots were magical girls? That's just what it is. But, yeah, and it is also very violent, but that's a good thing. Andy, what are you up to this week?
Not been up to a huge amount. I was really hoping to get my Overlord this week. I did not. I've been sent out an email to say that it will be delivered on Tuesday, so at least I know it's coming soon. Haven't really got anything in the post to talk about, so there's nothing there. I finished rewatching Master Force finally, which was good, though it suffers from being a very, very, very Japanese anime. So in the middle, there are long spouts of nothing's actually happening. And I've restarted watching Headmasters again. And that's not too bad. It's better than when I last watched it. And that's mainly because it feels a lot like a G1 episode, but like a G1 episode done by someone who's not exactly sure how to do it. When a scene change happens, they have to have Japanese narration of what is happening in that area, which really destroys the flow of the conversation. And they really felt the need to make Cyclonus and Scourge the butt of every joke they possibly could, which is a bit sad. And it feels really out of place to have their do, whip, and then go, as I mentioned, go straight into that description of what the fuck's happening in this area, which you never used to have happen. I'm enjoying it at the moment, not too far in, but it's just like, yep, this is not. It's weird. It's interesting to rewatch after all this time. I have watched the first season of Gargoyles all the way through, which I don't think I'd ever done before. That's a pretty good show, Mikey.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, pretty fun. Goliath is not a very good leader. He's very, very emotional and impulsive. And Elise is not a very good police officer, as half the time she doesn't police.
Nope. No,
Like
she does not.
she in the first 5 parts, they're chased down by people with guns in the park. She knocks some of them out, and I'm like, so you're gonna arrest them now, right? No. You're gonna take away the guns now, right? No. You're gonna put them in handcuffs at least, though, right? No. Oh,
She might have killed a
dear.
few in.
At
She might have
least.
killed a few in one explosion, though.
Maybe. But even so, there were a good few that she just kind of left unconscious in the park to go free. And the amount of explosions that happens, like a bike runs into a wall, it explodes. One bullet off a bike, it explodes. It takes so long for any emergency services to go anywhere close to anywhere. I know it's New York, but Jesus. How long does it take for emergency response units to come out? Holy crap. Don't think I'd like to live there. But I'm enjoying it. It's not the be end all kind of cartoon series, but it's decent enough. It's entertaining enough at the moment. And really that's about it. And there's nothing being desperately interesting going on. I'm still waiting for Steam sales on Neo and Dragon Ball Fighter Z, as they're both really tempting me at the moment, especially Dragon Ball Fighter Z, but I'm not spending £44 on it.
Do it.
No, I'm not spending £44 on it. There's no way I'm doing that. But it looks good. I look forward to getting it in the not too distant future, I hope. So I guess, Mikey, that'll do us for this week, yeah?
Yeah, another quiet week. I'm just trying to think. Oh, I caught up on Dragon Ball Super because it's ending.
What? It's ending?
It's ending in 5 episodes.
What do you mean it's ending? Like, it'll be done and there'll be no more?
Apparently. The TV
Wow.
slot is being taken over by something else.
Well,
So
what's
I
happening with the
decided-
manga then?
The manga is nowhere near the anime, so I'm assuming they're just going to finish off the story.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The anime is way, way ahead.
Oh, see, I thought it was the manga that was being written first and then the anime, usual style.
Nope. Completely other way around. And it's why there's so many
Oh, wow.
differences. Because he gets the layout of the anime, and then he just sort of does his own thing with it.
Weird.
But yeah, so I like I said, I've been ill and watching TV in bed, so I was kind of like, sure, I'll. It's ending. I might as well. That turned out to
Sure.
be way better than the rest of the show. This whole arc is really good. Like it's got
good.
bum bits, but basically, the realization of Super is that they were desperate to write a Vegeta show. Like, they really wanted to write the Vegeta to show, but they had to have Goku. So they have a few episodes of Goku doing something. It's never anything character related, ever. And then they switch to Vegeta, and because people were bitching before, like, this arc has loads of character moments for, like, Gohan, Roshi, Tien, Krillin. The androids get loads. Even Frieza gets some, and none for Goku. None for Goku. Goku gets a
Are
new
they still
form.
in a fighting tournament at the moment then?
Yeah, this is the end of it. But also, like, Vegeta did something that's never been done, certainly by him before. He has a new form, and it's completely unique.
Oh, cool.
Goku's got his Ultra Instinct, like, white, grey eyes thing, and Vegeta basically just evolved Blue to the next level. So now both him and Goku have unique forms. And there's even a line saying, I'm not going to be chasing this guy anymore, I'm going to do it my way.
Ah, look at that.
Yeah, so I'd like... It's just the character development of Vegeta is really well handled, and you're just like, you really didn't want to write Goku in the show, writers, did you? You're just like, he's so boring, but we could do this guy, he's really good. So, but yeah, like, also the animation, holy crap, it got good. Like, it depends on who's animating the show, but sometimes it is absolutely stunning. But
That's
yeah,
good.
I'm glad it seems they could still fuck up the ending, because they did with the Goku Black arc ages back, but it seems like it's going out in a high.
Well, that's good to hear.
Which is, nice considering it started in a fucking low. But yeah, so good fight in the last episode. Good fight involving Vegeta. Who knew? But yeah,
stuff.
so yeah. Just thought I'd mention that since I was trying to pad out time, since we weren't even at an hour and a half yet.
That's fine. Have we had any questions this week, Mr. Mikey?
No, but that does remind me. We are coming up to our anniversary in April. 10 years of the Moonbase 2. Listen for the moment where Andy dies inside.
It's already happened. I'm already
There.
dead.
But yeah, so I've been trying to figure out what we could do because 10 years of this is something else. So either on the Twitter or on the email, which the moonbase2@gmail.com. I'd love to have some ideas. I've gotten a couple on Twitter about what we could do. One was just mean. That's a mean thing.
Is that the one about bot?
That is the one about bot. You're a bad person.
That's mean.
Yeah, it's just cruel. But yeah, so I'd love to hear any suggestions you might have. Just send them on Twitter, send them an email, send them on Facebook, whatever. Yeah, just so we can do something interesting, something else. Like, it would be nice to have to, maybe not do news for a thing, but still do something relevant. So yeah, just send us in any suggestions you might have. Don't worry if, they're a bit odd or if they're a bit wacky or whatever. Yeah, just give us something to do for April.
Yeah,
10 years. Jesus Christ. I came in that time you went away.
Yeah, that's right. When I went to BotCon. You never left. I mean, you did, but then you came back.
No, I left. I tried to leave, and then you came back, and then Dave left.
That's right.
I'm just like, I think he left the week you came back. I don't think you were back very long.
Really?
Like, it would be, hi Andy, bye. He's been gone about 7 years now.
Jeez.
Like this.
Man, that's crazy.
Yep.
That's nuts.
I was listening back to some old
Can't
shows
get rid of
a while
me.
ago. Like, when you did the decade, you were doing the decade show with Chris, like Transformers for the decade. I'm just like, wow. And they were going like, oh, we won't be up to doing that again. I'm just like, give it a couple of years. But yeah,
that's nutty.
Like one of the longest running podcasts for Transformers ever. So
Woo!
Not bad at all.
Yeah, can't complain, I suppose.
And we're prettier than Chris.
Yeah, suck it. Well, Mr. Mikey, where can people find you on the internet if you want them to, of course? And how can they contact you to give you information about the 10th anniversary show?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter as Irish Paleo. You can find me on YouTube as GWolfie3. You can find me over in the Old House. You can find me on paleonerd.weebly.com. That never gets updated because I'm trying to organize my life, but one day. And if you want to contact the podcast, if you want to send us any messages, any questions, any queries, any recommendations for what we could do for, anniversary shows, any nude pictures, which I will forward on to Andy of you, your dogs, or others, they can be sent on... Indeed. They can be sent on the moonbase2@gmail.com, or they can be sent over on our Twitter, which is just the Moonbase2. Not Moonbase2, the Moonbase2. So check it out and contact us. We would love to hear from you. Andy, what about yourself?
Yes. You can find me on Twitter and Tumblr, CCTFW, on YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW. You can find this podcast, as Mikey said, and I'll say, on the Moonbase 2 forums, on Twitter, on Tumblr, on iTunes, on Facebook, on Libsyn, on most of those RSS fancy feeds and all that kind of jazz. If you want to give us some reviews on the iTunes, that would be appreciated. Though I hear they only show up for us from the regions that we're from. Is that right?
Apparently so, which means the Europes are failing us.
That's really dumb if that's the case. Why won't it show us people who review us in Zimbabwe or other places in the world?
Yeah, it does explain while I was looking at the WTF one and they had hardly any reviews, and I'm just like, they must have more than that. And
yeah,
it's like, yeah, because it's Europe. So
that's
iTunes. That's very stupid.
Oh well, fair enough. Like I say, if you could pop us a review, that would be handy, even if we can't view them. If you do leave us a review, send us what you said in the review to Mikey at the email address, and then we can read that out, and we can thank you and all that kind of jazz. And if you want to support the show in another way, you can head over to patreon.com and do $2 each month, and you get the extended version from the Files of Teletron 2. You get Moonbase Woo Woo, which this month we'll be talking about Thundercats 2011, that show. And you also get interviews and shows earlier as well. So you get a few bits and bobs here and there, which is good. And if you want to catch all my nonsense and my stuff, you can head over to the ccbunker.weebly.com. I think that's us done, yes, Mr. Mikey?
Yep, relatively short one this week. Hope you're happy, Stu and Tricky. Yeah, judgmental wankers.
Well, I'll have some Transformers to talk about next week, even if it's just one Overlord. I'll have something, so that'll beef us out a little bit more. But it's that time of year where there's not much news anyway, so that's fine. Well, until next week, everybody, we will catch you for some more Moonbase 2 action.
Action, 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 action.
You are now leaving Moonbase 2.